Hey, it's Evan. Welcome back to another episode of the Mindful 8 podcast. In today's episode, I'm starting off with a quote. Reasonable people adapt themselves to the world. Unreasonable people attempt to adapt the world to themselves. All progress, therefore, depends on unreasonable people. I want to say that again. All progress, therefore, depends on unreasonable people. All progress depends on unreasonable people because unreasonable people attempt to adapt the world to themselves. Unreasonable people create their own reality. Reasonable people let others create reality for them. This is why you should strive to be unreasonable. Nobody understands what you're going through, nor do you know what others are going through as well. The unreasonable person does things because they want to live their ideal life. Reasonable people justify everything and allow life to happen to them. Unreasonable people create their reality. Strive to be unreasonable. All progress in the physical realm depends on unreasonable people. The go-getters, the non-drifters, these are all unreasonable people. They're always engaged in doing something definite through a well-organized plan, which is definite. They have many minor goals, all of which lead toward their central scheme. They're unreasonable, and unreasonable has negative connotation. But let's flip it for a second. Unreasonable is positive. You should strive to be unreasonable. Reasonable people are normal people. And if you don't want to live a normal life, strive to be unreasonable. And how can you do this? Firstly, when people impose their will on you, don't react, don't respond. Go about it with love. And more times than not, it's going to be a silent response to people imposing their will onto you. Unreasonable is traveling to wherever you want because you can. Unreasonable is not doing this job or that job because you feel aligned with something else. People look at you and affirm that you're doing some unreasonable things. That's okay. That's what we want. All progress, therefore, depends on unreasonable people. The skyscrapers you see, the homes that are built, the lives that are built and established here in the physical realm. You think reasonable people built all this? Nature is God. God is everywhere. But the material things that we bring into this physical realm, they're inspired by God, but they're crafted with physical hands by unreasonable people. Always analyze what's calling you. Are you being called to travel? Are you being called to do this work? To join this line of service? What is it that's really calling you? If you understand what it is that's calling you, unreasonably go all in on it. Don't be reasonable. Don't give anything reason. Nothing in this physical realm makes sense whatsoever. Deep down, think about it. None of this makes sense unless we go deep and we think about frequency and somatics and all that fun stuff. But at the end of the day, none of this makes sense, right? And unreasonable people know this to be true. So instead of getting caught up in reason and giving things reason, unreasonable people give intention to what they do. They create their own reality. They're the ones building the skyscrapers. They're the ones raising families. They're the ones building business. Unreasonable people build things. They create things. They don't let life come to them. They grab life and they run with it. And they say, why not me? Why not me? Say that to yourself right now. Why not me? You can build that business. You can raise that family. You can go travel if you want to. Why not? Be unreasonable. People are always going to ask, why? Why are you doing this? Why not? Why not? Do whatever you want. Be unreasonable. Don't think about how you can afford this or that. How can I afford this trip? How can I afford it? Think about the action that you need to be taking. Be unreasonable. How and reason are two sides of the same coin. None of this makes sense. The physical realm does not make sense. Free will, being able to do whatever we want, that makes sense. So be unreasonable and live life according to your own terms. Always be engaged in doing something definite through some well-organized plan which is definite. Do the inner work, one of the only 4 things that matters. Go buy a journal, get a beautiful pen, and start writing. You're the great painter, and there's a white canvas in front of you every single moment of your day. Every single time that you wake up in the morning, look at life like it's a white canvas. Start painting and have fun. And most importantly, be unreasonable. Because unreasonable people attempt to adapt themselves to the world. Reasonable people do that. Unreasonable people adapt the world to themselves. They attempt to do it. Therefore, they create, they build. They bring God-given ideas and gifts to the physical realm. That's all from unreasonable people. Because they have just intentions. And they want to build a better life for themselves. Unreasonable people attempt to adapt the world to themselves. Remember this. You're always engaged in doing something definite. Be unreasonable. Live the life of your dreams. If this is serving you as a wake-up call, give it that intention. But don't give any of this reason or meaning, and don't think how I can afford this. Unreasonably take action, so much so that it overwhelms your fearful mind. All progress in the physical realm is highly dependent on unreasonable people, and you can be one of them. I love you. Thank you for listening. Have a great day today. Peace.